Hello, everybody. My name is Max Ruiz, and I am here today to talk about socialization. More specifically, I will be answering the first question presented to us, which was which agent of socialization, family, school, peers, media, workplace, religion, total institutions, has had the strongest influence on shaping my personal identity and why? And more specifically, I want to get into my family and how all those things, I believe, sort of domino effect onto each other. I feel like people are affected by all of these, whether they realize it or not, and maybe through their own exposure or other people's exposures, they are affected by it as well. Okay, so I'm having to re-record all of this due to my video getting compromised. I'm going to do my best to try to relay the information I had earlier. First and foremost, I believe that my family has had the strongest influence on my socialization, especially early on. Now, if we go into what chapter 4 of the textbook, Experience Sociology, goes into, it explains that families are the biggest agents of socialization. When we're young, especially, that's when the foundation of our values, our behaviors, and what becomes normality. So the norms that we form when we're young influence and I guess encourage who we continue to be as we get older. That's why those early years are so crucial. And your family has a very big impact on what you consider is normal and what behaviors you do and don't do. So growing up, my families might have bought a couple turkeys to hand out, or just giving change to the homeless in any way that we could, or maybe going to a food drive, to help out. We didn't go to the food drive very often, and those are small examples, but examples all the same of those kind of things that were instilled in me. Growing up, my parents emphasized respect, humility, and altruism. I guess it was very important, especially for my father, that he knew that I knew the importance of helping others. Given that we didn't have a whole lot to begin with, it mattered to help in any way that we could because we could. That influences how I've gone on to treat people growing up in my life, but also my own role in society, the kind of person that I want to be. So yeah, especially as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized the impact of social media, not just on my life, but on everyone else's lives, and not only how it affects how people operate on a day-to-day basis, but more specifically how it's completely influenced and entertains people's own grandiose ideas of self. The idea of a digital self, showing one thing to everyone else online when in reality your life or yourself is the complete opposite or something completely different, or early on Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. Those all play a big role in how people have begun to see themselves, and not just comparing themselves to others, but wanting to be more like that and willing to achieve that perception by any means. So our textbook in chapter 4 again, specifically, goes into depth about how media not only reflects culture, but it shapes it and transforms it by setting the standard for appearances, what people consider success. So I don't know whether that's being muscled up or having a nice car or owning a home, whatever people's own personal ideas of that is, and their general lifestyle. Once again, how they're living on a day-to-day basis. So social media, family, friends, these agents all send different messages. Messages like kindness, altruism, and respect are the values that my family has instilled in me, while messages like image or popularity continue to be, instilled by social media on all platforms. I think those two in particular have had the biggest impact on developing my own identity and sense of self. And not just that, but how, friends have been impacted by social media and that also impacting me as well. So I think those are the biggest agents of socialization in my development.